Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of Smith in the Black with the Strat Time Report, and what we got here is called a simultaneous break. So you can see here, I'll explain that to you. I'm gonna get that scanner up for you. So we know we've been chopping around this area for a while, right? And now we gap up and hold. So what you have here is a lower low and a higher high. So at the end of the day, we can redraw our broadening formation that we've been watching in here as it goes expando. It opens right on the top of the try and then goes. So at this point, when you look at the weekly now we're looking for an outside week. We're getting a lot closer to taking that out. And if so, remember on the monthly was an outside month, slight poke down, now coming back through. So that's the larger broadening formation, right? And until this turns around, we're looking to go back to the highs. Right? So right now you got inside in the 60 in the SPY. Just sitting there kind of holding. So it's more of a kind of a put smashing kind of day than a buying day. But so far, if you're going to turn this around, well, you'd have to take that 60 down first, right? Which you have not done. And then you got to change all the dailies back red. And that's quite a distance. Probably not going to happen. And I'll show you just in a second when I show you the scanner. Because you go to QQQ, takes all these guys out in one shot, right? Now climbing back up, also outside month, and now coming back up. And oh, look where she's sitting, right here. So remember, all these were lower highs. And then boom, you gap and take them all out in one shot. So you stall out a little bit, but certainly not reversing. If we go to the diamonds, here, diamonds now, is that inside 60 up there? Yep, inside on the 60. So still holding, you got a little bit more to take these guys out. You can see this slight higher high off of that stuff. Yeah, we'll see if we can take that out because once again, this stayed inside week, so a little bit stronger coming up on here. Still an inside month, but bright green. If you go to the small cappers, here, the two up, the two down, the two up. Triangle out. Now get. So we'll see how that goes. You know, it's been stuck in here, and you can see this plain as day. Price discovery, broadening formation. And now trying to bust through it. So we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to show you this. And if you've been following me for any length of time, we talk about simultaneous breaks all the time, right? And how you can tell what the market's doing by scanning with no charts. So let's go to, okay, that's daily, and then yesterday's low. Okay, we're both on dailies. That's good. So if we go up here, say, okay, how many stocks are taking out yesterday's highs, which would make it a 2 up, if not a 3, right? Let's see who that is. Ford, Apple, Tilray, AMD, AMC, Bank of America, PCG, FCX, General Motors, Nvidia, Facebook, Uber, per near everybody, LVS. It's almost everything is a 2 up. Now, Peloton, now what is 2 down on the day? Here. Who's taking out yesterday's lows? Almost nobody. Do you see this? There's almost nothing on here, right? Some Bitkerners, BT, and Riot. Other than that, almost nobody you've ever heard of. Right? So that's called a simultaneous break. That's really tough to turn around, right? So you want to be aware of that, right? If you're trying to fade this, you're barking up the wrong tree, right? And you better get, what I'm saying is too, if you're going to do that, you better get some 60 breaks because these dailies aren't breaking, right? It's really tough to turn around. So be aware of that. So pretty much everybody, but we can take a look at a few. Like XLV. And XLV goes RevStrat day, which means inside day, pokes down, stops them out, boom. These two become an outside bar of that 1, 2, 2, and that tells you to take a look at stuff like ANTM. Here, inside day, poke down hammer, 1, 2, 2 RevStrat, boom, off she goes, right? And maybe UNH, how you doing, buddy? UNH is a 2 down, 2 up reversal on the day. So as we stall out here, like I said, it's like, doesn't mean we're going to go a lot higher. It just means we're most likely not going down. So it's a simultaneous break is telling you. If you go to Beyond the Meat, Beyond the Meats. So inside day, poke down, rev strat, 1, 2, 2, coming up. And if that works, starting to try and get that monthly back green, and takes the week back green, right? So after triangle out, which is lower low, and potentially coming back through all this stuff. So we'll see how that goes. You still got a bunch of these guys to take out Beyond the Meats. We'll see. If we go to TTWO, Get boy. Yeah, that was in the video when we talked about this 312 3 days ago. And off she goes. And if that works, that gives you the 2 month reversal back up. TTWO still staying strong. If we go to Jazz Farm. Jazz Farm, I wonder where it's going. So yesterday, remember, we were looking at this broadening formation because you had the 2-2 reversal on the daily, and boom, off she goes, and boom. Right to the tick-tock. Ticky give you the outside weaker 1-bar rev strat because that was an inside week. Pokes down, and then boom, comes roaring back. Now looking outside month, right? And goes right through there. So Jazz, that was real nice. I don't know how far that's going to go because you remember also we were looking at Marvell yesterday, and that took care of business here, right? That took care of business on the broadening formation. Broadening formations get bigger, thus the name. So here's the original. Tried to break it down here, but once it started roaring back through here, we knew where it was going. Go and take these guys out, if not more, which it did. If we go to China, Baba, the fight back finally, Baba on an outside weaker. With that month going green now, inside on the 60. Like a lot of things, just run sheep run out the opening, but Baba turning around with China and Baidu. Here, coming back through the previous range, going outside week here, maybe an outside month, and let's take a look at Billy Baru. Billy coming up, that's a nice inside day to the upside, so more China for you. If we go to letter S, and letter S, just having a nice percentage gain, but like a lot of things, you can see these long green bars and then just sit. And that's a bit of an issue. It tells me we might not have a nice discernible move for a little while, but we'll see. If you go to XLE, trying to go 2-2-2 back up. OIH here, still an inside day, but you got crude doing this. There you go, outside day to the upside, right? Boom, stop them out, and then right back up. If you go to LPI still looking to hopefully complete this 3-2-2 monther to go take out those highs. So when I say wait for corrective activity, this is what I mean. Here's your outside, 2 down, 3-2-2 day back to the upside. So we'll see how that goes for LPI. RDW, and just a little bottom picker special. RDW, slight 2 down and then back to previous range, and that's what we like, right? Stop out any of the shorts through here, right? And had like a lot of things had that nice move, and then just kind of stalling out right here. SPY still doing this, going sideways here, so potentially up, sideways measured move, since almost everything is a 2 up. The ones that are not so fortunate, PRLD, and you can see this on the monthly. 2 up, 2 down, puke, right? So it's gap and puke, still puking, all sorts of trouble going on here. There's a 15, or there's your inside 15, and then you can look for something like this here. Inside 15, pokes up rev strat 15 down, right there. And, you know, when we get to a little grindy, you might want to go, like, say, AMD. Explaining this morning, when it gets a little grindy, there's a few things you can look for. Like here, this is a 2 up and this is a 2 down, right? The 2, 2, 2, and that gets you in right here, right? So I know things can be a little grindy, but those are the tactics to do it. Or you just hold out here and see what goes on as the day goes on. JYNT here, puke. That's a 2 up, 2 down month, right? That's having some problems. Big outside day. Now it recovers. Let's see if that's 60. Gives us anything. Now you can go inside 60. Mother bar problems, but we'll see if they want to finish that thing later. If there's any weakness in any sector, be somewhat the transports, albeit they're still a 2 up. They're lower than the opening. So that's got the airlines backing off. American Airlines coming down. Still an inside day, but you can see the airlines not participating totally in this rally. Also, the rails that have been strong, right, now weakening a little bit. They gap up and come in. They've had a nice run. There's your Norfolk Southern, your Union Pack. Not the end of the world. Just duly noted. And Facebook also duly noted. It's a RevStrat upside 1 to 2, but red on the day and coming back in. If we go to NTNX, outside day to the downside, so you got some problems in NTNX, and if that continues to work here, you can see this shooter counters hammer month, and that's below 36.86. All right, you're almost there, so that's a level you definitely want to know about. All right, the market going to triangle them out a little bit. You got SPY coming in, just a tad, still inside on the 60s. But you're here to see the fiver. So hopefully you get some corrective activity, and then you can rip them back up to the upside later in the day. Like I said, some of the Bitcoin names a little weaker, but not dying. Mara, Riot Blockchain, SI, but you can see a lot of these things just not totally dying at all. If you go to ORIC, oh boy, these guys got problems, and there's your reversal. Do we talk about this? We do. Outside bar, the 322 puker, bam, down to the basement she goes, and we'll see if that stays down there. PRLD going to the lows as I speak. IAC had a nice gapper and going towards the highs. Just a lot of grindy stuff until we can get out of this range on the 60s. So like I said, it's more of a, so far, a put smasher day than it is a ripper day outside of the opening. But we'll see. Oftentimes you get that up, sideways, measured move. Because anybody who's short can stay short right now. They're just hoping that the market rolls over. Now, if that doesn't happen and the buyers step up, you're going to short covering and buyers blasting this thing for those outside weeks. So we'll see how it goes coming into the afternoon. But like I said, almost everything's 2 up, and that would have to change at least on the 60-minute basis first, right? And that's why by running those scans, you can see what that's doing, and how do you negate all these 2 ups on the day? Probably not. So simultaneous break to the upside. So still holding. That's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith. Smith of the Black. Strat Time Report.